last segment of our podcast today, and this is where I get to put Peter on the spot and ask him some questions.
I felt on the spot this whole
Well, then maybe I'm doing my job. I don't know.
No, I think you're doing great.
Oh, okay, good,
Yeah.
good. And I think we've really done given some good messages
Let
out
us
today.
know
Let
if
us
we
know.
have. Okay, we want to hear
All
from
right.
you. If we've blown it, let me know.
So my first question takes a little moment to explain, but we used as an example today, we talked about people who, or even professionals, clinical professionals, who feel that at times it's unfair or too much to ask to think that someone who's gone through a horrific experience could actually grow from, that post-traumatic growth is possible. And you have talked in the past about something that you call misguided compassion. How would you describe some of what's going on in these scenarios in terms of misguided compassion?
I know what I mean by misguided compassion.
Yeah, so maybe start there. What is misguided compassion?
What is misguided compassion?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Would you say that these professionals might be thinking they're acting in compassion, in saying it's too much to expect that you could come through this and grow from it?
yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the.
Yeah, I needed to explain more.
Thank you. I need that. I think they're definitely misguided, and but at the same time, I know they're making an attempt to be sensitive. I know that, but unfortunately, these people are coming with a very limited perspective, and their sensitivity isn't real sensitivity at all. There is a timing factor that we've seen in dealing with people who deal with effects of trauma. That at times you can't really talk about growth and hope. You got to help them with the logistics of just getting through one day at a time. And I've seen misguided compassion in many different ways. The one that really has struck, I guess it comes to mind the most, but I've seen it, where someone has lost a loved one through whether it's been a crisis, a tragedy, or a natural death, or whatever. And I've seen people, particularly with a certain sense of distorted understanding of spirituality, come up to them and say, you shouldn't have to feel any sadness or grief or pain because you know he's in heaven now and he's doing wonderful. And when I hear that, I just about want to go through the floor. Because at that time, the folks that are grieving need to be supported for and given a deep sense of being okay to go through the grieving process. Not to talk about, oh, there's going to be tremendous growth, he's going to be in heaven, you're going to see him again someday, don't worry about it, everything's wonderful, and he's doing fine. That is real and sensitive, and that's misguided too. Mm-hmm. I have seen that. So I think it takes a sensitivity, it really does, when to talk about hope, when to talk about growth that can come through these difficulties. You know, I'm one of these people that I'm generally a pretty positive person in spite of very difficult circumstances that I've been through myself. I'm going through it again with my wife and my mother. I adore my wife. We've been together 47 years. And I think about it, what it's like. I have her close to me at all times. And I make sure she's comforted. And then I think to myself, this is unbearable. I'm watching my wife die every day. And yet, she's in the other room, and I go in many times during the night to check in on her. She's not in pain, she's not suffering. But it's an unbearable thing, if I really think about it. To ask anybody to do this that's a lot. I'm one of the people, that's the way I want it. But the sensitivity issue here is coming through a lot of suffering and a lot of pain. Do I have my moments where I can't find hope? I can't find a positive perspective because I feel so much emotional pain. But what I do know is, I have been through these things so many times, not with my wife, but with others. The thing that I do know deep down, there is something positive and purposeful in all of this. And there is a power greater than me. and it takes me through things that most people wouldn't want to go through or couldn't, or don't choose to. I, on the other hand, have a passion for helping, to get involved, to be, not to run away from the real difficulties. But I will say, I go through my hard times too. And if somebody came up to me and say, "Oh, chin up, everything's going to be fine. She's going to be in heaven, and you're going," I wouldn't want to hear that. And yet, there's something deeper within me that goes, "I know that's all true."